Hello again. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by the Bearded Iris Brewing Company, here to go over SEC baseball scores from Saturday, April the 29th. Let's start in Columbia, South Carolina, where the biggest surprise of the weekend has to be Auburn going to Columbia and winning the first two games. So I want to get to some stuff with Carolina in a minute because there's some injuries that are starting to pile up there. But let's start with Auburn. I just think Butch Thompson has done a phenomenal job in holding this together. Auburn seems like it's a team that gets hit with a significant injury every year with something. And this year it's been pitching. And Gonzalez hasn't thrown all year and is not going to. And Auburn has just pieced it together to do just enough in terms of pitching. Yesterday, Christian Herberholtz goes 4 innings, gives up 1 run. He did walk 4, but he struck out 6. But the 1 run, the big thing. You want to put yourself in position in that ballpark against that team to have a chance. And he did that. And Auburn's offense came through. Bobby Pierce hits a home run. Cooper McMurray, who we've not talked about a lot on this show, has quietly hit 12 home runs. He hits 2 yesterday. Nate LaRue hits 2 for Carolina. Jody Messina. Where did that come from? Cole Messina hit his 14th home run of the year. But I think the key for Carolina, Jack Mahoney, who's been pretty good for them, was not good yesterday. He gives up 6 runs, 5 earned in 3 1/3 innings. For Auburn, Auburn has now won the first 2 games in that series, is now 34 in the RPI, 9-11. If you pick the field today of 64 for the NCAA tournament, I think Auburn would be firmly in that. And South Carolina, meanwhile, has really hurt its hopes just with losing the first 2 in the series as LSU and Vandy continue to win. More on them in a minute. But Braylen Wimmer got hurt this weekend, I think on Friday night. He didn't play on Saturday. Now, Carolina's got a deep lineup, but that hurts. That hurts the middle infield defense. And so you saw Will Tippett playing second for them yesterday and Michael Braswell back at short. But anyway, big win for Auburn this weekend. Arkansas also got a big win. Arkansas has now, in spite of the mounting injuries, and Arkansas has been beset by as many injuries as anybody in this league, keeps on winning. Swept A&M at home, where Arkansas plays very well. Arkansas did not hit a home run in that game and had 9 base hits, 2 from Caleb Cawley, 2 from Jace Borfin, 2 from Ben McLaughlin, and 3 from John Bolton, of all people. You don't expect to see that from their light-hitting shortstop. But it just seems like Arkansas had A&M's number this weekend. A&M did not field well a good bit of the weekend, made 3 errors. Arkansas strings it together with 5 guys pitching, which is what Arkansas has had to do lately. Cody Adcock, the star in this one. He goes 4 innings, allows no runs, walks 3, strikes out 4, and it was just enough to set Arkansas up for an 8-7 win. Jace Lavalette, I guess is how you say it, hits a home run for Arkansas. That was for A&M. That was his 11th of the year. Alabama jumped out to a big lead over LSU. It was 6-1, and then it just fell apart. Brad Bohannon got tossed for arguing about a play where the catcher made a catch. What the umpires ruled, it hit the netting. Bohannon lost his mind. He got tossed, and it kind of went downhill for the Crimson Tide from them. Garrett McMillan, who's been good lately in spurts, goes 4, gives up 4, and then the bullpen just falls apart. Riley Quick, Alton Davis II, who's been so good. Look, you hit against LSU in that venue, and it's liable to fall apart, and it just did for Alabama. LSU needed 8 pitchers to get through this one. I guess the biggest thing was Thatcher Hurd, who's been very erratic. Gives him an inning and 2/3 at the end. Retired all the hitters he faced. For LSU, home runs from Tommy White, his 15th. Hayden Travinski has hit 2, but they've both been in huge spots the last 2 weekends. The one yesterday, as I do this Sunday morning, came, I think, in the middle to late innings. He had a 3-run home run that I think put LSU ahead. For Alabama, Jim Jarvis hit his 6th. I wasn't expecting to see that. Andrew Pinckney hit his 10th. Alabama now 9-11 in the SEC. LSU 14-5, a half game behind Vanderbilt atop the SEC standings. Wonder if that missed game in South Carolina is going to end up haunting one or both those teams as it impacts the title chase. All right, our channel is presented by Bearded Iris Brewing Company. It is Nashville's home for a beer that is unapologetically itself. Memorably composed and fun to drink, Bearded Iris offers a wide variety of hop-focused offerings like IPAs and DIPAs, as well as selected fruit sours, stouts, and a new hard seltzer. Visit them when you're in the Nashville area. They are on the west side of town. Okay, Tennessee gets the sweep with a 13-2 win over Mississippi State, in which the Vols run-ruled the Bulldogs. The old problems for State are starting to pop up with pitching. State threw 5 guys, only one of them, Aaron Nixon, who threw a scoreless inning, really accomplished much. Drew Beam is back to being Drew Beam for Tennessee. He goes 7, which was a complete game since it was a run rule. He strikes out 7, walks 1, gives up 3 hits. The home runs keep coming for the Vols, which they tend to do in that park. Jared Dickey and Christian Scott each hit a home run, and Christian Moore hits 2. Tennessee has now climbed above 500 in the league at 11-10 for the first time all season. Okay, Vandy maintains its lead in the overall SEC standings. I was at Hawkins Field for that one yesterday, and the key for Vandy was really relief pitching. Thomas Schultz and Ryan Ginther combined to go 5 innings and give up 3 runs and really not put a lot of guys on base, which is key when you're pitching to Kentucky because, my goodness, those guys can get on base up and down that lineup. For Kentucky, Tyler Bosma didn't pitch well. He gave up 4 earned runs in 3 innings. That really set the stage for Vandy to win that one 9-3. Standout on this one for Vandy, R.J. Austin, their freshman second baseman. He drives in 4 runs, hits a home run, as did Chris Maldonado. Vandy 15-5, sitting alone atop the SEC standings. As we do this Sunday morning, Kentucky now drops to 11-9, and really still got a gaudy RPI, but going to need to start winning some conference games again if it is going to host or maybe host 2 weekends. Florida has taken the series down in Columbia, Missouri. It wins 11-7. I guess the biggest upset in this one is that Missouri hit the only 3 home runs of the game. Those came from Trevor Austin, Hank Zeisler, and Dalton Bargo, and still loses the game. Florida pounds out 11 hits, takes 3 walks, but man, they must have been timely because usually that kind of line score does not translate into 11 runs. Tyler Shelnut leads the team with 3 hits, and so does Wyatt Langford. They both have 3 hits and knock in 3 runs. For Florida, the bullpen, I guess, was key. Brandon Neely came back from a suspension. He gets his 8th save of the year. He goes 2 1/3 innings and picks up the save in that one. Ryan Slater gets the win, albeit not very effective. He gives up 3 runs, all earned in 2 innings. From Missouri, Rurik Maltrud back to the bullpen. That didn't work. Zach Franklin, who's their transfer from Western Carolina, who's been good, he didn't pitch well. 4 earned runs over 3 innings. That happens when you face Florida, and Missouri now really reeling after starting 3-0 in the SEC is 5-15. Final one, Georgia goes to Ole Miss and gets a big win. Ole Miss now at the bottom of the SEC standings, remaining there at 4-16 after win the opener. For the Bulldogs, the story has been Charlie Goldstein, the lefty, who's just been so good the last 6 weeks or so in conference play. He goes 7, gives up 3. Chandler Marsh and Leighton Finley finish that off with scoreless innings. For Ole Miss, just once again, could not find pitching. JT Quinn starts, goes 4 1/3, gives up 5 runs. All those were earned. For Georgia, the big boppers came through. Parks Harbor hits another home run. Charlie Condon hits a double. Harbor knocks in 3. Condon knocks in 1 with 2 hits. Really only 7 hits for Georgia, but it turned those into 7 runs. The Bulldogs also took 7 walks. That helped. Georgia now at 8-12 really needs to get a Sunday win to boost its NCAA tournament chances. I think Georgia's in if you've picked the field today, but who knows? In any case, we'll be back Monday morning with a recap of what we see on Sunday. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 14, presented by Bearded Iris. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Those help us, and we'll see you again soon.